employment orientation seminar, yung pong ating online na tool para mabigyan ng assessment ang ating OFW or would-be OFW actually, sir, kasi lahat po dumadaan sa PEOS. May isang module po doon about financial literacy. Pag-save, pag-iwas sa scam. Bagamat mabilisan po, doon pa lang, sir, nai-introduce na. And then, here comes PDOS with OWA. Meron din pong isang importanteng component na sa aming pong palagay ay kailangan din pong matutukan, yung sa families. Gaya po ng binanggit ni Admin PY, meron po tayong tinatawag na Pre-Migration Orientation Seminar. Yung PMOS po ay ino-offer ng regional offices natin. Ito po ay hindi lamang offering ng Department of Migrant Workers at ng OWA. Kasama rin po dito ang mga private sector partners natin, mga financial institutions, at kasama rin po na partner natin na isang kasangga dito, ang Bangko Sentral, bilang siyang focal agency po pagdating po sa financial literacy. So ito pa lang po yung bago umalis. On-site po, binanggit ni Admin PY ang PAOS, yung post-arrival. And then tuloy-tuloy din po, we're currently working po doon sa kaalaman program thrust po natin na hindi lang mag-offer ng karagdagang kaalaman sa mga OFW for upskilling. Importante po, sa lahat ng programa namin, ang bedrock po is actually financial literacy. So kung may gusto pong magnegosyo, ang unang module po na ipinapasok namin, paano ka kumita sa negosyo gamit ang iyong kinita dito sa iyong pagtatrabaho. Kung meron pong gustong mag-aral, halimbawa with our programs with TESTA, isa rin pong entrada, naging senator, is paano ang tamang pagsisave para sa karagdagang kaalaman. So, lahat po ito, kahit po mga pa 30-30 minutes, 1 hour lang po nakaragdagan doon sa mga module, ini-introduce po namin. Upon the return, sir, sabi nga po ninyo yung full cycle, upon the return po, bago po sila maka-avail ng ating mga programa na reintegration, saka even po doon sa welfare, idinadagdag din po namin yan, sir, na may karagdagan din po silang kahit papaano ay reorientation kung paano po nila magagamit yung pera na maiaabot para po sa welfare, yung pera po na maiaabot sa reintegration. And then, continuously po, with our partnerships with our local governments and the National Reintegration Network, lahat po ng mga ahensya ay patuloy po na nagbibigay ng mga kaalaman na to. And it's not just savings, the good Mr. Senator, it's also about investing. It's also about avoiding scams. Tuloy-tuloy po kami dun sa pagsasabi, kung hindi mo kaya, huwag kang mag-loan. At kung mag-loan ka, doon lamang sa tamang ahensya o sa tamang financial institution. Ang overall arching framework po nito, ang tawag po natin ay PITAKA, Financial na Kaalaman at Talino. At we hope po to fully roll out at mas marami pa po kaming maabot, di lamang po ang OFW, ganun din po ang kanilang mga pamilya.
For that, you want to add something
else? Quickly, one example, we have a very good partnership with the SEC. Meron silang ASTIG program, yung kanilang anti-investment scam program. So, ready na ang modules, kasado na po. We don't reinvent the wheel. SEC knows the area kung saan makakaiwas ang OFW sa scam at kung saan sila pwedeng ituro sa tamang investment. So, we partner and then may webinars and then we invite the OFWs.
That's the beauty of having a healthy relationship with the different agencies of the government, and that's the only way we can do the full cycle reintegration. I may be remiss of my duty if I don't remind also the department that we were the ones who launched the TESDA online program. Right now, it has about 5 million enrollees, the online program. So maganda rin po nga ma-promote so that when they come back, they can actually get assessed by respective or TESDA assessment centers, and once they get assessed and pass the assessment of TESDA, they immediately get the national certification. It's been very helpful to a lot of our kababayans. Let me hear from BSP with regard to this particular measure, itong para sa ating mga OFWs. I'm looking at the remittances, and please correct me if I'm wrong. January to July of 2025 alone, the OFW remittances amounted to a total of 19.9 billion US dollars, which is estimated to be 1.16 trillion pesos. If I'm not mistaken, if you look at the 2024 comparing it to the OFW remittances with our GDP, that's 8.3% of the country's GDP. Ito pong proposal at mungkahi para doon sa mga OFWs natin, no, yung sa service fees, yung currency exchange rate. Can we hear from BSP, your position on this, sir? Dancel or Attorney Director Monteras? Yes, please. You're recognized, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon, members of the committee. So, if I may allowed to read the opening statement of the BSP regarding Senate Bill number 181 and 1074, sir.
Yes, please proceed.
So, thank you, sir. So, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas recognizes that OFWs are considered economic heroes of the country and are enabling partners in driving the sustained growth of the Philippine economy. Given this, BSP gives its full support to any proposed legislative measures that aim to protect and improve the welfare and economic and social conditions of our OFWs and their families. At the same time, BSP is pleased to share that existing regulations and initiatives are already in place to safeguard the financial welfare of our OFWs, consistent with the objectives of the proposed measures. This ensures that remittance transactions coursed through BSP-supervised financial institutions are conducted securely and at reasonable cost. In partnership with other government agencies, BSP's effort have contributed to lowering remittance charges, enhancing the remittance environment for our OFW, and promoting financial literacy among OFW and their families. I will request the Honorable Committee to allow BSP to elaborate on our existing regulatory framework and initiatives, and to provide detailed comments on the proposed measures through the submission of our official position paper, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, but bigyan natin ng time limit, sir, para
yes, sir.
Siguro within the week.
Okay, so we will submit your.
Please. Sige po. Just some questions that I'd like to ask, no. Yung you look at the OFW's preferred mode. So marami nakikinig sa atin, nanonood na mga OFWs worldwide. And I wanted to get the position of BSP, siguro yung DOF, kung meron po kayong advice sa ating mga OFWs. I was looking at the PSA, itong Philippine Statistics Authority survey, conducted covering a 6-month period from April to September 2023. And in this particular data, binabanggit po dito na when it comes to sending remittances, banks were the most preferred mode of remittance with a share of 62.2%. And this was followed by money transfer services at 36.5%. And then the share of 1.3% were sent through agency or local office of the OFW, friends, co-workers, door-to-door arrangements. And you look at the average remittance sent by every OFW for the period, ang figure is 123,000 pesos, no? Ito yung mode of sending cash remittances as ng PSA, no? Baka lang may infer from BSP from these practices, and para for the information of our OFWs who are monitoring this hearing, bakit ba, or yun ang talagang inaano natin, no, sinusuport, why is it better to send remittances through formal channels such as banks or fintech-enabled money transfer companies? Dito ba sila mas protected, Your Honors, please?
Yes, sir. Sir, regarding sa dun po sa statistics na 62% preferred banks and 36.5% prefer yung remittance and transfer company, based on BSP's data, in terms of value, that's more or less correct. 60% of the value of the total remittance sent by our OFW are coursed through banks. But in terms of, and the remaining percent are mostly coursed through remittance and transfers of number percent are coursed through banks. Numbers po. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good to note, no? And for the consumption of our OFWs listening to us, can the Bangko Sentral Pilipinas explain the cost of sending remittances from a foreign country to any point in the Philippines? Gusto natin mapag-usapan what constitutes po ba yung these costs, no? Which mode of sending cash remittances have higher fees and charges. Can we answer that, or has there been an observed increase in, for example, financial cost of sending remittances? How do this dampen or affect remittance flows?
Well, I guess at this point, Mr. Chair, we don't have the data right now to answer with specificity the information that you're asking for us, because as I understand it, Mr. Chair, asking for like the cost or the component or the breakdown of this cost for each bank, right? We can get back to you with this information if Mr. Chair. But let me just say at this point, Mr. Chair, kasi iko-connect ko po ito sa sinabi niyo po kanina, no, yung kagandahan o kagalingan ng pag-send ng mga OFW kababayan natin, no, sa formal channels. I would say, no, generally speaking, of course, it's definitely better, no, for our OFWs to use the formal channels, no, of transferring funds. Of course, I'm representing here together with my colleagues BSP, and therefore I can say with confidence na at least with respect to BSP regulated entities, no, the BSP is very, very proactive in ensuring, you know, that our regulated entities are not abusing and not making the lives of our countrymen or OFWs difficult, Mr. Chair. Kaya handa po ang BSP na i-exercise, no, yung power, no, to regulate whatever fees or charges if we find them to be abusive or does not that are unreasonable. So we will do that, Your Honor. Kaya nga ang sabi nga kanina, mas maganda talaga, no, inihikayat po natin ang ating mga kababayan na mga OFWs imbis na sa mga, especially mga walang license na channel of transferring funds. Definitely that's not advisable, no. We really encourage that you use the formal channels because you have agencies like BSP and of course the other government agencies represented in today's hearing who can definitely protect your interest, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that, no? Kasi again, kung may mga nakikinig sa atin, nanonood ngayon, alam natin yung every bank or financial institution used by our OFWs has its own fees of for money transfers, di ba? Yung most institutions separate fees into incoming and the outgoing wire transfer fees. They also charge intermediary fees and additional transfer fees such as penalties for amendment or cancellation of transaction, etc. Tinitingnan ko itong mga published charges and fees of local Philippine banks for inward remittances, no, credited to peso accounts. For example, BPI, service charge of 150 pesos plus documentary stamp tax, DST of 60 cents for every 200 pesos sent. Yung Land Bank may service charge of 50 pesos. Ang DST niya is 60 cents din per 200 pesos. PNB has a service charge of 450 pesos plus DST of 60 cents per 200 pesos. BDO service charge 100 pesos naman. DST of 60 cents din per 200 pesos. So, itong mga ito gusto nating ma-inform at matulungan yung ating mga OFWs, but I know you wanted to back in, but perhaps just for the record, let's ask BSP's position on the proposal to subject the fees imposed by banks and non-bank financial intermediaries on OFW remittances to a 50% discount. may position ho ba yung BSP dito? Kanina binanggit ni Secretary Kakdak, pagka